Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the College of Engineering's virtual academic advising and course registration process. My name is Dr. Marlena Lester, and today we are going to do a question and answer session focused around global education study abroad. And I'm going to let my colleagues introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there. What we will also do is if you have questions, you can utilize the Q&A feature in this webinar, and we can either respond to you verbally or we can type in responses to you throughout the session or at the end. So feel free to kind of point that to that direction at the bottom of your screen. So Nicole, I'll turn it over to you for introduction.
Thanks, Marlena. Hello, everyone. It's really nice to have you all here. My name is Nicole Sanderlin, and I'm the Director for Global Engagement in the College of Engineering. I'm based here in the Dean's office, and so I work with all of the different departments that are here within the College of Engineering. And I'll also let my colleague introduce herself because we'll both be talking today.
Hi, thank you all so much for being here today. I'm really excited to meet you. My name is Mariah Henderson. I'm the International Programs Administrator in the Department of Engineering Education, which is the department that houses all of the first-year programs. So I work specifically with first-year engineers for study abroad opportunities. So I'm excited to share with you what we do.
Great. So we're really excited today to talk with you all a little bit about global opportunities here in the College of Engineering. And we're hoping that we can really inspire you to think a little bit about how you might incorporate global activities and opportunities while you're here at Virginia Tech. A couple things I like to always point out is that going overseas can be affordable, and that we'll be talking throughout this session about scholarships and different opportunities for funding for study abroad opportunities. But also, I also like to point out that having international experiences while you're here at Virginia Tech can also really enhance your career opportunities once you graduate. And we'll be highlighting a couple of different students who have taken advantage of some of the opportunities here at Tech and now have gone on to have some really interesting career opportunities. I also wanted to let you know that kind of early in our presentation that if you have any questions following this, you can always send us an email at engabroad@bt.edu. And I also welcome you to visit our website, which has a lot of information as well around different opportunities that are available amongst all of our different departments. So I hope that you'll take advantage of that as well. So just to give a little bit of an overview, there are a lot of different types of international experiences that you can have while you're here at Virginia Tech. We have a number of short-term programs, meaning around 2 to 4 weeks long. And we'll be highlighting one of those today that has been really popular over the years. But we have a lot of different opportunities like that may take place either over a winter break or in May, right after your classes end, at the end of the semester. They can really be great opportunities to get some experience, but not necessarily having to be away for a whole semester or year. We also have a number of other opportunities like study abroad programs that can take place that are the longer term ones that are, again, semester or year-long programs. We have a variety of different service organizations here in the College of Engineering. So I'll be talking a little bit about those as well, because those can be a really great opportunity to get some experience, work with fellow Hokies on service projects that are also getting you some really great real world experience overseas. We also have a number of opportunities kind of later in your Virginia Tech career, usually junior, senior year, for summer research and labs that can take place over the summer. And then I'll talk a little bit about third-party opportunities, kind of what that means and what those might look like as well. So when it comes to the short-term programs, those are the 2 to 4 weeks. All majors, regardless of what major you'd like to do within engineering, can take part in our Rising Sophomore Abroad program, which Mariah is going to be talking about in more detail in just a moment. But that can be a really fantastic opportunity that takes place in your first year here at Virginia Tech. We also have a lot of opportunities as well in other departments. Once you have decided on a major and entered that major, we have a number of programs that have been established within our departments that are these shorter term programs as well. So BEAM is one that has some senior design projects that incorporate a travel component. Our computer science department also has a new program that has some travel that takes place over spring break. So it's a shorter term opportunity to travel, but still getting you some really great experience being overseas. And our ECE department also has a new program that just ran this year that's focused on green engineering, business and culture that takes place in Germany. So you'll see a lot of these types of opportunities that may come up within your departments once you have selected your major. The other opportunities are really kind of focused on the more traditional, a little bit longer term study abroad opportunities that may last for a semester or a full year. So these types of experiences are done normally a couple of different ways, either by participating in an exchange where you are paying Virginia Tech tuition, but taking a slot at another institution overseas, or what we call a direct enroll, which is where you are direct enrolling it as a student for a short period of time, so a semester or a year at another institution, and transferring those credits back to Virginia Tech. So we have a number of these opportunities that are set up. One of those in our ISE department, it takes place in Brazil. We've had a number of students in our mechanical engineering department that have traveled to Germany, to the Technical University of Darmstadt. That's the picture that's below. And we also have in our chemical engineering department a summer opportunity, the Unit Operations Lab, which can be done here, locally, but can also be done in Denmark or Germany. So that's also been an interesting opportunity for students who want to do something for the full summer and take classes that count towards their major. And then civil engineering is another department that has a number of different study abroad programs. Most recently, they have a new program starting this fall that's going to be taking place in Switzerland. And so these types of opportunities are always cropping up in our departments, and are once you have selected a major, are some really great ways to get some experience being overseas, and also helping you to get credits that will count towards your major. I also want to highlight some of our service learning opportunities. So one of the organizations that is on our campus is Engineers Without Borders. You may have heard of this organization, but they have a number of service projects that they do throughout the world, and most recently in Uganda, Nicaragua, and Kenya. So I encourage you to keep an eye out for this organization and any of the three I'll be talking about, because they can be great ways to work with your fellow Hokies, working with faculty advisors on projects that involve travel and really getting some real world experience in developing countries. Another opportunity is Service Without Borders, and this is an organization that is unique to Virginia Tech. This particular organization was started by Virginia Tech students who were in the College of Engineering and a variety of different colleges as well, and really wanted to create projects that could be cross-disciplinary, so could include students that are outside of engineering, for instance. This particular organization has projects in Nepal, Tanzania, India. They also do local projects here in the New River Valley. So that's another organization that students have really enjoyed working with. And then our third is the Society of Women Engineers. That particular organization has sent students to Malawi to do some really interesting work, particularly working in schools with girls and STEM education. And so that is another that engineering students have really enjoyed working with over the years. And then again, just mentioning summer research. So as you get kind of further along in your time here at Virginia Tech and especially around your junior or senior year, we have a number of opportunities to get involved in one of our IRES programs. IRES stands for International Research Experiences for Students. These are programs that are funded by the National Science Foundation and can be an opportunity to do research in a laboratory with Virginia Tech faculty and partners overseas, based overseas for the summer. They're paid opportunities, which is fantastic. And so we have a number of these that are taking place now, and I expect this suite of offerings will change over the years as other faculty members get IRES grants. Currently, we have opportunities in Brunei, Korea, South Korea, and Singapore. So that particular program travels to all three countries over the summer. We have a longstanding program with the University of Nottingham in the UK, another in Scotland, and another in France. And so one of the things that I like to always point out is that employers tend to really look positively on these types of experiences when students are interviewing and can talk about having spent some time overseas and especially doing research in their discipline, that these have really served students well as they have gone on to in their careers. And then lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about third-party programs. So first off, what is a third-party program? What does that mean? So a third-party program is a program that's offered by an organization or a university different from Virginia Tech, but which you can get credit for the work that you're doing on the travel that you're doing with that program. So one of these is called ICEP Direct. That particular program is a network of different university exchanges around the world that you can take advantage of as a Virginia Tech student. So we have a membership and you can participate in any of the exchanges that they have around the world. And then the other is the Green Program, which is a third-party program that offers short-term programs really based on sustainability, looking at environmental issues, and travels to a number of different countries around the world, generally for about 10 days. So they're shorter-term programs, but following those programs, you can enroll in a 3-credit independent study here at Virginia Tech and get credit for that experience that you've had. So that is another opportunity as well, that particular one counts towards the green engineering minor. So if that's something you're interested in, that can be a really great option. And funding your program. So one of the things that I'd like to always tell students is to make sure to talk to your department and also contact us to ask about scholarship opportunities. we do have at the university a centralized global education office. That is a fantastic resource, and I encourage you also to visit that office once you're here on campus. You will be seeing, once you're on campus, study abroad fairs. You'll be seeing our tables at all sorts of different events once you arrive here on campus. So there will be lots of opportunities to talk to us and also to representatives from the Global Education Office. And I always encourage students to start thinking about these opportunities as early as you can, because it is always good to talk with your advisors, think about the places you may want to go and how these will count towards your degree. We also have, as I mentioned, we're going to be, you'll be seeing us at a number of different events once you arrive on campus. We have a group called the Global Engineering Ambassadors that is made up of engineering students who have studied abroad while they've been here at Virginia Tech. They are a great group of people to talk to about their experiences, about how they've made it work, the value of that experience for them. So I also encourage you to look for them and their tables when you arrive here on campus. And then you'll also see, once you get to campus as well, we have a number of university, college, and national scholarships as well that you'll be hearing more about once you get on campus. We have had a number of students who've taken advantage of some of these larger national scholarships, like the Boren Awards, which funds foreign language study, the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship, and Fulbright. So our team is always happy to talk with you about those as well. And then I also wanted to let everyone know that there is also a program here at Virginia Tech called the First Year Passport Project that is managed by our Central Global Education Office. You can apply for that program as a first-year student, and any student who is receiving or is eligible to receive a federal Pell Grant can apply for this program. So what the program entails is participating in a number of different workshops that will kind of help you prepare for and think about different opportunities for studying abroad that might fit best for you and your goals and discipline. And then it also covers the cost of receiving a passport, which is fantastic. So I hope you'll think about that as well once you arrive on campus. So just to kind of summarize, there are a number of different opportunities that you can take advantage of here from your freshman all the way to your senior year. I think what's exciting about being here at Virginia Tech is that there are these different opportunities in all different stages of your time here. So whether that is a program like the Rising Sophomore Abroad program, which can take place in your first year, or a service trip, a longer term study abroad, or an internship or research experience later on in your junior or senior year. There are lots of different ways that you can participate in these types of opportunities. And I'll close by just telling a few just brief stories about a couple of our students who have studied abroad. One of these is Evan, who worked in Nepal with Service Without Borders. He had a really fantastic experience going to Nepal and working on a project that was based on water infrastructure, and is now continued on for graduate school, which is pretty exciting. So he's continuing to think about and study and is building a career in this area of water infrastructure. Another of our students is Melissa, who did some summer research in Australia with one of our IRES programs. One of the things that Our IRES students have really, we've found in comment that they've commented on is that having that research experience has really helped them to make decisions about the potential for graduate school, whether that's something they think they may want to pursue. This particular student has gone on to do a master's degree, but we've found that these types of experiences can be really, really helpful in just getting a taste of what international research can be like, and what graduate school may entail for them. And then Val is another student. She actually participated in the Rising Sophomore Abroad program in her first year here at Virginia Tech, and then went on to do a summer internship in France with Michelin. And so this was a really exciting opportunity for her because she also had some background in French that she wanted to be able to continue to pursue. While she was here at Virginia Tech, she did a minor in French. So those opportunities exist as well. If you are studying a foreign language in high school, you can continue to do some of those classes while you're here at Virginia Tech. So I will turn it over to Mariah to highlight one of our great programs, the Rising Sophomore Abroad program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. I love to hear all of the different opportunities that are available. So I only work with a small portion of them. So I run the Rising Sophomore Abroad program. It is a study abroad program that's designed for first-year engineering students. We actually, despite the Rising Sophomore in the name, we actually don't limit it to first-year students at this point, but with that as our primary group of students that end up participating. So I think if we move to the next slide. Yeah, so these are just a few pictures. You can see some of the places we've been to. This past year, we had students travel to Europe and Southeast Asia, and then Australia and New Zealand. So we're looking at some similar locations this year. I believe I have them on the next slide. All right, so a little bit about the program, because it is a little bit unique. It's not what you typically think of if you know much about study abroad programs, because a large portion of the program actually happens on campus, which is actually kind of great because it allows you to fit this program in and get some of that international experience without having to like completely shuffle your schedule, which sometimes can be really difficult to work out. So the way that this program works, you'll apply in the fall. Our application will open August 15th and close on October 1st. And then you'll be notified when you're accepted. We do rolling admission. And so we try to get all of that, everyone notified by like mid-October once we've had a chance to review all of the applications. And then you'll enroll in ENGE 1644. The title of the course is Global STEM Practice during spring semester. So this is a 3-credit course that you'll take for the entire semester. It is a course that really focuses on the way that engineering happens in different contexts, especially cultural contexts. So when we think about the way that we engage with the world as people who, maybe have grown up in the United States or have been educated in the United States, it doesn't always look the same in other countries. Communication styles sometimes can vary pretty drastically. The way engineers are educated can vary pretty drastically, and all of that affects the way that we approach problems and solve problems. And so there's a really high likelihood that as you get into your career, you're going to be working with people who come from other countries. You're going to be working in a company maybe that has like parent company abroad, or you're working with global, like international suppliers, and you have to be able to have a good working relationship with those people. So in this program, in the course, we spend a lot of time thinking about how our culture affects the way that we engage with other people, and then how we can do that effectively. It does fulfill your pathways 3 credit. That is one of the kind of general education courses that are requirements that you'll need to complete while you're here at Virginia Tech as a part of your degree. And so that's So that's the first part. That happens during spring semester. So all semester long, 3-credit course. Then after exams, so once exams are completely done, we will travel for 2 weeks. And the locations that we'll be traveling to this year are Norway and Finland, the United Kingdom and Ireland, Italy and Germany, Spain and Morocco, Japan, Taiwan and South Korea, and Australia and New Zealand. So each group will have about 20 to 30 students accompanied by track leaders from the Department of Engineering Education, both faculty members and grad students. And you'll get a chance to meet them and get to know them throughout the semester as a part of the course. And then we all travel together during those last 2 weeks of May. So that is the Rising Sophomore Abroad program. And then if we move to the next slide. A little bit about what this kind of looks like financially. The program fee is going to vary depending on the location. It's between $5,000 and $6,000 for each track. And so if you go to our website, which I'll give you a QR code here in a moment, on the website, you'll see the specific cost for each location specifically. And then one thing to kind of note about that is that it does include quite a bit of things, but that cost only covers travel, those 2 weeks of travel. But it includes your international airfare, all of your in-country transportation, all of your accommodations, all of your breakfasts and some lunches and dinners, all of the corporate visits that we go to, because that's a big part of what we're doing while we're traveling, is visiting companies and learning what engineering looks like at these places abroad. What does engineering in the UK look like? What does engineering in Spain look like? We also do cultural visits because it's important to be able to understand what's happening or like what is important to that culture. What are some of the landmarks that are really important that we visit in the cities that we're going to? And then it does include international health and security insurance. And that is really important because it covers you in the case of an emergency. So whether that is tripping and like hitting your head and having to get some stitches, or getting COVID and having to quarantine, it covers all of that. We do have scholarships available, and I really do my best to try and also link you all or anyone that's interested in RSAP with other scholarships outside of the RSAP scholarships that might be beneficial. And I have those listed on our website. They're in the process of being updated with the new information for this year. But it is really important to pay attention to the deadlines because some of those scholarships have deadlines right at the beginning of the school year. So if that's something that is interesting to you or something that would be important for you to be able to participate, I really recommend that you pay really close attention to those deadlines. All right, and like I mentioned, applications open August 15th and close October 1st. They're reviewed on a rolling basis. So the sooner you get your application in, the sooner we're able to review it. And the benefit of turning an application in sooner in the application period is that as students are enrolled, they get to preference the location that's most appealing to them. So if there is a location that you are really set on, and especially the ones that were most popular last year were Italy, Germany, and Japan. So if those are locations that are really interesting to you, I would really recommend that you get your applications in early because once they fill up, we don't have more space for those locations. So we would have to direct you to like your second choice location in that event. So this QR code will take you to our website. You can also go to bit.ly/VTRSAP or just search RSAP Virginia Tech. It's the first thing that pops up and you'll find a lot of information there. If you have any questions, there's a link on our website that you can make an appointment with me. I would love to meet and talk with you, if you have any questions or just like kind of explain the whole process if that's helpful. Or you can email me at rsap@bt.edu and I'll be happy to answer questions over email as well. All right, and then we have one more opportunity for you. Please. Yes. So we are starting a new program this year called Pathways to the Steger Center. And so this program, we're still fleshing out all the details, so I can't give you the exact cost, but this program looks a little bit different. It is a more traditional program, but it's a really great option for students right after their first year at Virginia Tech in engineering specifically. It's a 4-week program that's going to happen at the Steger Center in Riva San Vitale, Switzerland. That's the southern part of Switzerland. And students who participate in this program will get the option to choose 2 of 3 courses that are offered. So one of the courses will be Create, which is also a Pathways course. It's your Pathways 6D, I believe. And then we have another Pathways course that I believe will be Pathways 2. That's about food in Europe and the processes surrounding food. And then also an Italian course because they actually speak Italian in the southern part of Switzerland. This program is going to have a mid-semester excursion to Bologna, where we will do some kind of similar to like what we do with an RSAP, where we'll go to company visits, and then also other visits that will be specific to the other courses that are offered on the program. And you can find out more about this one. Like I said, we're still fine-tuning all of the details, but check our website at bit.ly/pathways to the Steger Center or using this QR code. And we'll be updating it as soon as we have everything kind of ironed out and details ready to share. So I'm really excited about this program. I think it's going to be a really cool addition for first-year students, especially because it'll fit really well right after your first year. So that is what I have to share.
Thank you both so much for that overview of the programs and for giving us some really good insight into some of the new initiatives that are getting ready to happen. So for those of you who are on the webinar for us today, if you do have any questions for Nicole or Mariah, feel free to pop those in the Q&A and we'll make sure that we get those addressed for you today. So in addition to hosting this session for the virtual orientation experience or the virtual academic advising and course registration experience for orientation, you can, of course, those of you who are joining us live will be able to use that Q&A, but if you're watching this recording afterwards, or if you are here live and you want to watch this later, we will post a link to this on the orientation website. And Mariah, as you were talking too, if we want to specifically put URLs on right below the links, we can do that as well, or some other things to kind of highlight some of the programs that you shared today. All right, so it does look like we have a question that just popped in. The first one is, can a first-year student apply for 2 study abroad programs? So I'll let y'all address that.
So yes and no. You'd want to, I think, be strategic about what programs you apply to. There is an application fee that is standard for all study abroad programs across the university. It's a $50 application fee. So I think you just want to be strategic to not kind of waste that money that you'd have to pay for the application fee. It may not be ideal to apply for 2 programs that are going to be happening at the same time, only because then, like, if you get accepted to both of them, then you have to choose between them. So I would maybe start with the program that you think is the best fit and that you're most interested in, and maybe start with that route. But it also may depend on the timing of it and when the program is available to students. So there's some different things I think to think about. There's nothing to stop you from applying to 2, but I don't know that it's the best use of your resources.
And I think we got a clarification point there too. It says, sorry, I meant the entire undergrad period. Is that advisable? And so I think the question is, maybe this is for you, Nicole, or for you as well. If students do multiple study abroad experiences, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and that has been pretty common, actually, where students may participate in different types of opportunities while they're here. So for instance, they may participate in the Rising Sophomore Abroad program in their freshman year, and then in their junior or senior year, they may do a service project, or they may participate in the chemical engineering unit operations lab. So we have had a number of students who have done that. And I think the Rising Sophomore Abroad program has been a great avenue for students to really kind of get a taste in their freshman year. And then we've had a lot of students afterwards say, I really want to do that again. So yes, that is definitely something that you can do.
Yeah, and I guess that's like, and is it advisable? I think back to what Nicole said earlier, that employers really do value international experience because it shows that you have a lot of skills that they're looking for. You're able to like navigate unfamiliar experiences. You're able to kind of push through kind of difficult circumstances and be successful. And so the more experience you have, the more you're able to use that experience to make yourself, a great candidate when you go to interviews.
All right, so it looks like the next question we have in here is just to clarify, RSAP, the Rising Sophomore Abroad program, is this for incoming first-year students or freshmen, right?
Yes, so it was designed for first-year students. So you take it in the second semester of your freshman year. But like I said, we are not limiting it to that group of students. So if there was someone in their sophomore year who has the space available in their schedule and is able to participate in the program, we would be happy to have them participate as well. But yes, the idea is that you take it in the second semester of your freshman year.
Thank you. And Nicole, I really appreciate you highlighting some of the service learning projects today. I think they often don't get highlighted enough. So this is a great opportunity to do that. I know I get lots of questions from new students at tabling type of events, especially about Engineers Without Borders. So thanks for highlighting that today. So for those of you who are still hanging out with us, feel free to pop in your questions. What we are going to do is we will end kind of the recording of the session, but we'll hang tight with you for a few more minutes to address any final questions that you might have. So thank you all so much for being with us today. And again, continue to pop in those questions.